One man, one mission, to rid the world of chronic anxiety once and for all. The Anxiety Guy, Dennis Simsek, shares his personal transformation from living a life filled with overwhelming worry to becoming a full-fledged positivity machine, a leading authority in generalized anxiety. Dennis gets to the truth of your mental health challenges and sets you on a path to transforming each and every area of your life. Here he is, the one and only, the Anxiety Guy.
My friends, welcome to episode number 233. You're listening to the Anxiety Guy podcast, and I am your host, Dennis Simsek. This podcast episode is brought to you by the End the Anxiety program and the Life Mastery program. Both you can find at theanxietyguy.com under My Programs. There is no better time than now to begin your healing and total transformation at theanxietyguy.com. Warriors, I'm excited today. You know why? Because I get to present to you 3 things that will definitely work for you to boost your immune system and protect from any negative intruders that want to get in. And as many of you know through my Facebook page and through my programs, I am an experimenter. I experiment with all sorts of different things, teas, supplements, you name it, exercises, in the hopes of understanding them better so that I can present to you what may work for you and what may not. And I'm convinced today that these 3 things will help you and help us as a collective get through this time. So let's boost our immune systems. Let's gain the mental and emotional strength that we deserve. And let's move forward, thriving through this time we call a pandemic. The first thing that I want to present to you is what's called contrast water therapy. Now, here's what it means. It means taking a 20-minute shower and every 3 minutes, allowing the water to get cold. Now, when you go from hot to cold every 3 minutes, you want to stay in the cold water for 1 minute. Now, I know what you're saying. Dennis, I can't do this. But let me help you understand why you must do contrast water therapy on a daily basis. Standing under or sitting in hot water for several minutes opens up blood vessels in the skin and muscles. This improves the flow of oxygen-rich blood. Now, switching to cold water for 1 minute makes the same blood vessels instantly constrict, reducing the flow of blood. Now, over a 20-minute period, while you're taking a shower, this creates what's called a pumping mechanism, where more oxygen-rich blood flows into the muscles and tissues near the skin, while more deoxygenated blood is then pulled back through the veins to the lungs to collect more oxygen. Now understand this, warrior. Scientists believe that moving from hot to cold water boosts the number of disease-fighting immune system cells, such as monocytes, which are white blood cells. Now, I do contrast water therapy on a daily basis, and what I can say is that in the beginning, it's highly uncomfortable. A lot of people are not comfortable in the cold, but the benefits are too much to ignore contrast water therapy. So take my advice today and embrace the discomfort for a set period of time and gain the benefits from this form of taking a shower each and every day. Because when we can associate more pleasure than pain to something new that we're about to do, we will do it for longer periods of time. So many people out there procrastinate or fulfill a habit just 1 or 2 days and then they give up because they don't bring to their conscious awareness the benefits that they're going to get from that thing long term. So is it worth it? Yes, it's worth it. Number 2 is garlic tea. Now, here's an interesting thing that happened to me when I was going into the hospital a couple years ago in Vancouver. I was walking into the hospital, and as I was looking at the paintings and the photos on the sides, I recognized that in the early 1900s, nurses and doctors were peeling garlic to feed their patients. Now, there was no description below it as to why they were doing that, but I can sense that the healing properties and the immune system boosting properties within garlic are just so powerful that we can't ignore it. In lab studies, raw garlic has been shown to have antibacterial, antiviral, antiparasitic, and antifungal qualities. Now, when we're making garlic tea on a daily basis, here's how I do it. What I do is I chop 2 cloves of garlic into small pieces. Then I leave those pieces sitting there for 10 minutes in order to release the important compound within it called organosulfur. These have tremendous immune system benefits. Then what you want to do is you want to place into hot water with your favorite tea bag. You can add honey or anything else you'd like, and let it sit for another 10 minutes. After that, drink. And that's it. That's garlic tea. You're going to love it. I promise you. I mean, add some stuff to it, right? Not too much. And go for it. Be open to these ideas. Why are you listening to this podcast? You're listening to this podcast because you're fed up. You're tired of what your life looks like. You're tired of feeling the way you're feeling. And if I present to you something that can change the way you feel, it's up to you to walk that path. No one is going to change you. Only you. And it starts with changing your habits. The third thing that I want to present to you today to boost your immune system is to avoid processed foods and sweetened soft drinks. Warrior, this is no time to bombard your body with processed foods. Okay? You cannot bombard your body with fried foods, high fructose corn syrup, refined sugars, or any kind of chemical additives. These toxic things we call treats force your body to do extra work to expel all this junk and repair the internal inflammation that they cause in your body. Also, grain-based foods like breads, cereals, muffins, pastas, bagels are major culprits in causing internal inflammation and disrupting normal gut function. So please, avoid grains as much as possible. Instead, up your tea consumption with my personal immune-boosting teas, such as licorice tea. I love it. I love the taste. I love what it does for me. Reishi tea and mugwort tea. Okay? So these are the things that we want to do. We want to take control of what we have control over and aid our body in rejecting anything that's negative that wants to enter into the cells of our bodies. If we boost our immune systems, we will improve our mental and emotional health starting today. So please, walk this path with me, and let's get stronger by the day. Now, warrior, moving forward, I also want you to consider and think about this quote right here. It doesn't have a lot to do with the main topic of this podcast, but I want you to write it down, and I want you to get to a place where you start to understand it better. You trust fear too much, and you trust love too little. Let that sink in. Subscribe to this podcast, and please, if you're enjoying it, leave a positive rate and review. If you have any other questions on any of my programs, head on over to theanxietyguy.com and begin your healing today. Remember that you are more than anxiety. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Thanks for being an important part of the Anxiety Guy podcast community. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave a positive rate and review. If you're searching for further support on your road to recovery from anxiety, head over to anxietyexit.com and take part in the powerful End the Anxiety program based around the CBT model. If you're searching for a more one-on-one approach, you can sign up now for personal coaching sessions with Dennis via Skype. Remember, you are more than anxiety. See you in the next episode.